back to my weekly rants where we talk about what's hot, what's not, and everything in between. It's your girl Dominica. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you like, share, hit the subscribe button, and drop down below. Let's have a conversation. So, hold on you guys, I have a call coming in. Oh, it's spam. Send that to voicemail. So y'all know how I do. I always start off my videos with something to drink. So I have my LaCroix. I have the black raspberry. I love how they spell that. The black raspberry. What's up, LaCroix? Y'all know y'all owe me some money as much as I drink these things and talk about them. But anyways, y'all, got a LaCroix. Go ahead and grab you something to drink, a snack, whatever, while you enjoy this video. Let me take a couple sips. So refreshing. Before we get into the topic for the day, I'm doing all kind of free advertisement. So, you guys, do you have an Amazon Fresh store in your area? We have one. It's pretty new here, and I'm really enjoying it. I said on Threads the other day that the Amazon Fresh store reminds me of Paradise. Have you guys watched Paradise? If you have not watched Paradise, you must be living under a rock. It is literally the best show on TV right now on Hulu. Go watch it if you haven't already. Drop down below and let me know, have you watched it and do you understand what I'm saying about the Amazon Fresh store? If you've been in an Amazon Fresh store and Paradise, it literally feels like you're in the store in Paradise. Like, it's so like clean and pristine, and literally every time I go in there, it's the same guy at the front, almost like, is this guy real? Like, you know, so I don't know, you guys. I don't know why I got off on that. Probably because I'm drinking this LaCroix, and I got it from the Amazon Fresh store. They have right now the pack of 8 on sale for $1.34. That's the other thing. They have great prices if you are a Prime member, which I think everybody in the world is a Prime member by now. Anyways, I went off on a tangent that has nothing to do with this video. So let me take a couple more sips and I'm gonna get into the topic of the video, which you guys can see by the title. Okay. So today, March 7th, marks 4 years since my mom's been gone. Yeah, she died March 7th, 2021. And today, this year, 4 years later, I think it's the first day on this anniversary that I have not been sad. Like, I feel no sadness. I feel really good, actually. After I shoot this video, I'm gonna go to her gravesite. That's kind of like something I do every year on this day. Go to her gravesite, bring flowers, but I don't feel sad. And so I want to just encourage all of you all out there, especially those of us who are grieving, have lost someone close to us, specifically a parent. I know everybody has their own journey and their own experience when it comes to grief, but I will say for me, time has been a healer. Time and the Lord has been a healer for me. You guys have to drop down below and let me know if you've lost someone, has time been a healer for you? Each year I've had different feelings and emotions, but the time has been a healer for me. I saw something, I think this was also on the show I was watching, Paradise. Not too many spoilers, but one of the characters, she loses a child, and she says that the time for her made it worse because it's just more time that goes by that you realize that the person is not there. And I will say, like the first couple years my mom was gone, I felt exactly like that. I felt her on that. Like, it was really making me upset that, like, oh my God, another year has passed and my mom is not here. She missed this and missed this and missed this and missed that. And I really was, that was really bothering me. But God is so faithful, you guys. He has really just been a comforter for me throughout this process of grief. And not just this process of grief, but just every point in my life, good, bad, or whatever. He has just been such a comforter. And so I just can't thank God enough. It is interesting. Also, I'll share something else with you guys. I've been praying these last couple days, and some of my prayers have been, God, help me to stop replaying stuff in my mind over and over and over and over again that's been traumatic. Because I don't know about you guys, but I have a tendency to do that. I replay traumatic events in my mind. And I've also shared with you guys, I think that I'm a firm believer in therapy. I'm a firm believer in therapy and having a really good therapist, which I'm thankful that I have a really good therapist that I've started with these last few months. And one thing that I'm learning is I'm trying to get past certain traumatic events. I've been through a lot of traumatic events in my life. My mom's death is one of many, but I feel like in certain instances I've been stuck in certain traumatic events, and part of that I find myself like replaying stuff in my mind a lot and just it taking me back there and just reeling on it. And and I'm asking God and I'm praying like, Lord, renew my mind in the sense of that I don't want to keep playing some of these events over and over and over and having these same feelings over and over and over. Like I can't move forward. I can't get to where you need me to be, which is in your will as the woman that you created me to be, if I keep replaying these events. And some of these events that I keep replaying, it's like they have really nothing to do with what it is happening now and what's to come. You know what I mean? So that's been one of my prayers. And God is so faithful, because in that prayer, I felt like this morning, the Holy Spirit was revealing to me, like, this is the first year that I didn't replay all the traumatic events that happened on this day 4 years ago. I found myself like yesterday, like not forgetting that today was her anniversary, but like people texting me and checking up on me. And that reminded me like, oh dang, usually during this time each year, I'm reeling and thinking about and dreading this day almost, because I'm replaying in my mind what happened on this day over and over and over. And God is so good, because that didn't happen. And he reminded me, he was like, you prayed. When I was praying for that specifically, I was thinking about another situation. I was thinking about something else in my past that I'm tired of thinking about over and over again. But he reminded me that it's not just that situation that you had in mind, but I'm going to renew your mind when it comes to all the situations traumatic that you don't need to keep replaying over and over and over. And I just had to thank him. I just had to thank him. I've been in a really spirit of thankfulness also, as we now we're entering, or we have already entered the period of Lent leading up to the resurrection of Jesus. I've said, during this time, a lot of us, and myself in the past, fast and pray. And this, for me, this time, I am participating in fasting. But my prayers, I told the Lord, I just want my prayers to be thankful. Thank you, Lord. Thank you for this. I just want to thank him, because he's so good. And so I know that was, I jumped around a lot there, you guys. But my point was, like, God is so good and so faithful, because although I prayed that prayer and I had something else in mind, he showed me that no, this is going to cover a multitude of things. So I feel happy on this day. I don't feel sad. And I'm thanking the Lord for that. I do want to touch on something, though, as it does relate to trauma. And that is, I believe I learned this in therapy. When we experience traumatic events, our body remembers it. Our body does not forget. Our body has a very sharp memory as it relates to trauma. A lot of times we go into survival mode and we experience certain traumatic events and we just keep going, right? And certain things we might block out of our mind or we don't remember, but our body does not forget. So I do want to share something with you guys that happened to me on my son's birthday. One of my son's birthday is February 20th. And on that day, I woke up, went about my regular day, dropped him off at school, got the kids off, did my regular thing, right? And then I came home. I have a picture of my mom downstairs, and I just got overwhelmed with sadness, and I just broke down crying. And in that moment, I thought, I'm breaking down crying because today's my son's birthday, and here is another year where dang, my mom is not here. She can't see like how much he's grown. And I started a little bit reeling, like I just mentioned earlier, like thinking about that, right? And then God reminded me of like, that wasn't it. That wasn't it. I was thinking that was it. I'm crying, I'm breaking down because this is his birthday. She's not here today. And maybe it's just hitting me. Because you guys know grief hits different at different times. And I learned like, no. It was February 20th, my son's birthday, 4 years ago, right before my mom died. That started the clock. She died 2 weeks later. And on that day, February 20th, his birthday, she went into the hospital. And a series of events happened, and she passed away 2 weeks later. And so that I think my body remembered, like, this is the day that it all started. And it was such a trip because it just was like this overwhelming thing that rose up in my body. And I just broke down. And like I said, I told myself, this is why this is probably happening. But really, it was like, oh no, your body remembered. Your body remembered what happened on that day. And it's hard to describe, you guys, me having a what you would call an aha moment, or realizing that's what was happening. Because when I realized now that's what was happening, now I can start to have more like control is not the right word, because it's not control over it, but just like an awareness of like, this is what's happening, allow it to happen, and I can work through it a little bit better, if that makes sense. So just remember, you all, those of us that's going through grief, have lost someone, those are traumatic events, traumatic experiences, and our bodies will remember it. And just give yourself grace, and open your mind a little bit to just realize like, this is why this might be happening to me on this day. And just kind of sit in it. And now that I have an awareness, I don't know, now that I'm more aware, I don't know how I'm going to deal with it going forward. But it did make me realize like, dang, that was traumatic for me to go through that on my son's birthday. And it really just started the clock ticking of her going into the hospital. And like I said, a series of events happened, and she passed a couple weeks later. So those are the kind of things that I've been dealing with this year, as like I said, we're now on her fourth year of not being here. And just wanted to share that with you all and encourage you all. Like I said, I know everybody's journey is different, but for me, time and Jesus has helped. God is faithful, you guys. He is so faithful. He can identify with all of our pains, all of our sufferings. I hope I'm not preaching, but my son told me that this morning. He was like, Mom, you started to preach, but I just can't help it, because that is what has brought me through and continues to bring me through. I'm going to share one more thing that's kind of preachy, and that is Jesus can relate to us, because if you guys remember when Lazarus died, right, in the Bible, and this was Jesus' cousin, right? Jesus is God. Jesus knew he was going to raise Lazarus up, right? But he still wept. He still mourned with everybody, right? So he can identify with what it feels like for us to lose somebody that we love so much. He can identify with that. Even though he knew he was about to raise him up, he still wept and felt those emotions and went through those series of emotions with us. So I guess I'll just leave y'all with that. If you have lost someone, you want to talk about it, drop down in the comments. I will be praying for everybody that is experiencing any type of loss. Specifically, loss of a parent is like, it's so many layers to it, you guys. I feel like I've been going through so many different things these last 4 years, so many different revelations, so many things have come to my mind, so many feelings. It's just a lot. There's so many layers to it. So definitely we'll be praying for you if you've lost someone. Drop down the comments and let's talk about it. Can you resonate with any of the things that I said today? Yeah, and that's it. I hope you guys have an amazing Friday, amazing weekend. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you comment, share. Definitely subscribe. If you are watching on this video, clicked on this video, and you have not subscribed yet, please do so. We have a lot of fun here at my weekly rants. I talk about a lot of different things, and I think most of the things that I share here are valuable, useful, you know, sometimes light and funny. Everything is not heavy. I know today's topic is a little heavier, but we have a lot of fun here. So hit the subscribe button. It's totally free. Like I said, like, share, subscribe. Definitely comment, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.